Excuse me. I forgot to introduce myself. And I love
civil disobedience, because our lives depend on it. We're smart enough, we're dedicated enough to do it, but not by sitting on our duffs. We have to really work.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot.
An educated populace is absolutely essential. What people can do is to learn the actual facts, to make sure that both sides of the issues are expressed and that there's nothing, by the way, in these issues that the average person can't understand. Average person is plenty smart enough to understand these issues, and most of those cases, almost all of them, which the government said if you have the facts we have, then you'd reach a different conclusion, that turns out to be bunk. Beyond that, there are a lot of other things people can do.
No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money, a choice right now between fear and love.
They can demonstrate. They can make mass rallies. There is an American tradition of nonviolent civil disobedience.
Wouldn't you like to get away?
And you have to understand it in a fairly deep way. You have to get beyond the rhetoric that politicians necessarily spread in order to calm everybody and to get reelected.
And it's the same counselor that you called the last 5 times.
Pac-Man was not the asking of hard questions. So the next step, and this is something Thomas Jefferson repeatedly stressed, is that if you want to exercise your democratic privileges and powers, you have to understand the situation.
Sometimes you want to go.
So just writing letters to newspapers or to members of Congress isn't going to do a whole lot. Voting does a whole lot more. Because the one thing that members of Congress and members of the executive branch, I mean elected members of the executive branch, president and vice president, are very interested in is getting reelected.
And AstraZeneca didn't show.
And if it were possible for people to clear away the electoral smokescreen, the stuff that's intended to cloud your mind, the stuff that's intended to make you look at subsidiary issues and not the fundamental issues.
And they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see. Troubles are all the same.
If people can do that, if they can learn to think straight, then they have an enormous leverage, an enormous amount of control.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name.
What can we do to have a hopeful future?
Well, I think there's a broad range of things that the average person can do, especially in a democracy where, you know, at least in principle, the people control what the government does. Government's supposed to be working for the people, not the other way around. Also on a planet where things are moving very much more towards the idea that the people are in control. So
All those nights when life's crossed the line, you called the hotline.
the Soviet Union, fantastic changes are happening there. Not yet all the way. There's not a multi-party system. There's a lot of things that they don't have, but the amount of progress there is absolutely enormous. Those are some signs of hope.
You want to be where you can see. Troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name.
A choice right now between fear and love. The eyes of fear want you to put bigger locks on your door, buy guns, close yourself off. The eyes of love instead see all of us as one.
So, how's it going then, boys?
I can't get a picture out your telly, missus.
I'm not surprised. That's the microwave.
Right.
That's insane.
It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intellectual, but the one most adaptable to change.
Yes?
Lovely.
There's no better tea than PP.
You Stan, I got a picture. You never. Looks like a spaghetti western.
Oh, don't talk bolognese.
That is Charles Darwin's strongest quote. I think that he would love that that's his strongest quote.
Oh, don't talk bolognese.
That quote can teach us a lot about culture as well. Cultures are the same way.
Sit down.
If it isn't adaptable, it dies. It goes away. It doesn't survive. In the United States, and certainly in the southern United States, we are in the middle of a culture war. You have those who want to reach back to the 1950s or the 1850s, and you have those that want to take huge strides forward.
I wasn't insulting him.
Excuse me! Did you or did you not say that this man seemed tired?
Yes, he's my friend. I said, Paulo, you look tired.
Microaggression! Persons of Hispanic backgrounds have been stereotyped as being sleepy, and saying they look tired is a microaggression that will not stand!
But I am tired.
That's insane.
Now, of course, this move is going to make people angry.
This time I will use a microaggression, and you will see how it gives you a free shot. Alright, everybody, listen up. I'm about to use a microaggression, but it's only for the use of training this young person in the ways of the social justice warrior. Thank you. Microaggression about to happen. Thank you. My friend Brian looks like a chick.
Microaggression. Hit him.
The thing is, the United States as a whole is in the same situation.
My pants are warm. My pants are warm. That coffee belongs to Tim Sherman. I heard it's going to rain. Janet likes to roller skate.
We're still clinging to ideas that died 100 years ago everywhere else in the world.
Mr. Yamashiro is actually a very good driver.
Microaggression. Hit him.
Nice, kid. Very nice indeed.
You know, the idea of this hierarchical structure and keeping each other down, kicking down instead of, punching up at those in power and trying to get them to behave. We just want to make sure we're better off than those people. Incidentally, the only Confederate tradition that is still alive in the South is a bunch of poor white guys going off and fighting the battles of a bunch of rich white guys. That's about it. Everything else is gone. The Confederacy is gone. Everything that had to do with it is gone.
Using the term actually inferred that maybe other Asian Americans are not good drivers, and the use of Mr. is offensive to persons of third gender. Now, before we talk about your race, I need you to get out there and do some PC work for me. I'll let you know when I think you're ready.
That's the only tradition that remains. It's kind of sad. But instead, we're fighting over statues. We're fighting over flags. We're fighting over things that do not matter. American culture will die because we're not changing. Those TV shows that people in my generation watched, that was great. It was never like that. That's not real. And as we fight these battles, we don't progress. We don't move forward. We don't embrace new technologies and new ideas. We're stagnant. And a culture, much like a species, that is stagnant, that does not change, it dies. We preach about the land of the free and the home of the brave. And we fight freedom. And we're terrified of everything. The culture of this country is dying. The DNA what makes up America is gone. It's gone. Those who see themselves as defenders of the American ideal don't even know what it is anymore. They've just chosen a side in the red versus blue battles, and they think they're winning. Nobody's winning. We're all losing. We are all losing because we refuse to progress. We refuse to think outside of history. We refuse to look forward instead of back. If that doesn't stop, and stop pretty quickly, give it up. Give it up. Incidentally, Darwin's strongest quote, he never said it. That's the funny thing about that quote. He never said that. He never wrote that. That quote came about in the 1960s when somebody paraphrased his work and just tried to sum it up. And because that summary of his work was so adaptable and so useful in so many different ways, it survived. And that became his strongest quote. And I think he would love that. I really do. Because it pretty much proves his entire theory.
To you. If you toe. And I will be sure to leave you some vitamin water and a vitamin D supplement. Listen, alright? You gotta lay off the milk and cookies. Your thyroid and your heart are already planning to kill you, okay? And you're pale as fuck, dude. I've been thinking, but I need a genius for this one. Hey, Caroline, what is love? Thanks, Joseph D. Bishop. Baby, don't... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. Thank you for tolerating me. Please keep sending your emails. It's the only source of entertainment that I have now, really. It's the only thing that makes me feel better about myself. What's that German word?
Schadenfreude.
If someone is willing to sponsor me because I want to buy a monkey. God, wait, hold on. If I get a sponsorship, does that mean that I have to, do I have to do, taxes and stuff? I know that if I say this on YouTube right now, I can't get away with it, but ignorance of the law?
Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. It's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow